because Williams' left jab is so strong, that should help him as long as he keeps that right hand up and watch Tyson's left hook, which is a powerful punch.
That's it. Let him go. All right, that's it. I'm here. Let him go. Get back.
Tyson's face. A minute 32 instead of a minute 31. It was, as you started to point out, again, Larry, a left hook.
Williams was very unhappy at the end of that. Randy Newman, the referee, asked him a question, obviously about how he felt or what his name was or where he was, and apparently he got the wrong answer because he stopped the fight immediately. I didn't see any reason to stop the fight. And I'm curious to see what that answer was, and I'm going into the ring to see if I can find out.
Good luck, Larry. A minute 33, Larry. It was 2 seconds longer than the Spinks fight. The unofficial demarcation of the knockout comes at 1:33 of the first round. And you can see a disgusted Carl Williams who thinks that he should have been allowed to continue. And Ray, I've got to agree with Larry. It was a fairly peremptory stoppage.
Well, the way I judge it, because he appeared to be okay, but then again, the referee is closer to the pitcher than we are.
What was that question likely to be?
Where are you? What day is this? And here we see the left hook that put Williams down. Williams had dropped that right hand, and I indicated earlier that the jab will be the key, but in throwing the left jab, he must also keep that right hand up and power. There's that left hook.
And you saw Mike pivot upward with both feet planted and turn the hips into the punch. This is where the power comes from.
The reason people fear Mike Tyson because he's one of the few, if not the only man, that can knock you out in the heavyweight division with one punch.
Here's another look at the devastating left hook.
And what Tyson does here, he bobs and weaves, gets under that jab and counters with a beautiful left hook.
Perfectly timed as Williams was dropping the right hand, just as you said he did after throwing the jab.
Well, what happened for Williams is the fact that his left jab rather, was working, and he felt very comfortable.
That was a look back at the conversation between Randy Newman and Carl Williams, which led to the stoppage.
Mike Tyson, as usual, awesome.
I'm reminded of a night in the Meadowlands in New Jersey when a referee stopped a bout between Mike Rossman and Victor Galindez. After a similar conversation, Rossman, the victim of the knockout, he chased the ref across the ring yelling, "What was the right answer?"
I'm with Randy Newman, the referee of the fight. Obviously, the people in and out of the ring are unhappy that the fight was stopped. Randy, why did you stop the fight?
When he got up at 8, he was wobbly. He wasn't standing up. He was leaning against the rope. I asked him a question, a very simple question. How do you feel? Not for the answer, but to see how he responded. His eyes were blank. His expression was blank. He had no answer.
Is there any chance that he misunderstood what you wanted him to respond to?
I don't think so. Let me tell you why. He's had a lot of professional fights and a lot of amateur fights. When a fighter is knocked down, and I had 38 fights, when a fighter is knocked down, the first thing he wants to prove when he gets up to the referee is that he's in good shape. Number one, he wasn't standing on his feet. He was leaning on the ropes. Number two, he couldn't answer me. And number three, his eyes were dead.
Thank you very much, Randy. And now back to ringside.
All right, thanks very much, Larry, and thank you for pointing out that the crowd is booing, as there were obviously a fair number within this congregation who did not feel that the bout should have been stopped quite so quickly. Randy Newman with a decisive and clear-headed answer to the questions. He knows exactly why he did what he did.
Well, Newman is a competent referee. In fact, that he must have saw something in Williams that we didn't currently see. But from the outside looking in, it appeared that Williams got up and was able to compose himself. But then again, I think it's left up to the referee.
And now we go back to Larry Merchant in the ring, I believe, with the champion. Go, Larry.
All right, once again, Mike, the interview has to be longer than the fight. I'm sorry about that. What happened from your point of view? Did you see him really dazed?
Well, no, I noticed my trainers were telling me we were slipping and hooking. So when we slip, because usually I come in, I slip, and I get in there, and that's the hardest part, is getting in there, and I never threw the punch. And so we were practicing, and you slip, so you in there, instantaneously, bing, throw the punch. And I did, I was successful.
What? Were you surprised that he stayed on top of you as much as he did, that he didn't try to move?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I knew it took it just for a matter of time. I loved it.
So you knew that as soon as he was doing that you were going to get a clean shot sooner or later.
Exactly. And my punches were accurate and pinpoint, and I knew eventually I was going to get him.
He has a reputation for getting hit with left hooks. Were you looking for that opening?
No, I was very confident. I wanted to catch him with a good right hand. Believe my right hand is my favorite punch, but I never catch anyone with it. You know, it's my best punch, and I always get guys with left hook.
All right, we're going to try to take a look at the
where's the monitor?
At the monitor, if we can find it, so that we can determine what happened.
Champion now.
All right. Okay, it was a clean left hook. Did you? I mean, you sparred with him years ago. We know that it didn't mean anything. Were you surprised that he went so fast?
Well, no, I knew if I catch someone clean, they'll go, regardless who they are. Mm-hmm. So, you know, when the referee he hit him with a shot, it looked like he was able to get up, but I guess the referee called what he saw, because I didn't think he was hurt that bad, but I know I hit him with a clean shot.
Speculate for me. How long would it have taken you to get him down a second time if the fight went on?
Oh, no problem. I'd have been all over him. Maybe it's better that the referee did stop early. I would have been all over him. That's when I'm most dangerously, when I know I have someone hurt.
For the record, Mike, I don't know if you know it, this fight went a couple of seconds longer than the Spinks fight. So far in this building, in the last 13 months, you've fought about 1 round and 2 fights.
Well, it's good. I like coming in this building. I like being here. And Donald Trump, he don't play around. He pays that money up. And for this fight, Don told me if I knock him out, he'll pay me $100 grand. And I'm looking forward to that $100 grand.
Who? Don is going to pay for you?
Don King, yeah. $100 grand for a knockout.
All right, we all want to be there when that happens.
When is that happening?
Right, in the post-press conference.
Yes. My church can use some of that money. Yes.
All right.
Henry J. Payton, Holy Trinity Baptist Church.
No doubt.
Let's talk about, all right, now let's talk. You've talked about being in control of your career. Tell us what you think is next. Who is next?
Well, I'm just taking it one step at a time. I'll fight anybody. You know what I mean? I don't discriminate from anybody. I'm the best fighter in the world, and there's no man that can beat me.
Does this mean that Holyfield is or is not your next opponent?
Well, he's my future, but I don't think he's my immediate future. But come on, Holyfield, no matter. That's kids play.
So
get ready for the next battle.
Like early next year, and you may have 1 or 2 fights before then?
Most likely, but you know what I mean? If they can discuss our things with their people, we can fight in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He caught a quick knockout, I got a quick knockout. We both still need to work. We didn't get any work.
All right. Jose Ribalta was one of the fighters being considered for your next opponent, and he had a dreadful outing in a preliminary tonight. Did that eliminate him?
Well, it looks kind of dreary for him, but you never know. If he have a couple more fights and he cleans up his act, he's always a good prospect.
What about Douglas, who looked a little better, if not great, in another preliminary? He's been mentioned as a possible opponent.
I take all comers. I don't duck any man.
Can we assume that Michael Dokes is one of the prospects?
All comers. Come one, come all, because nobody could get close to me. They're not even close. I'm the best fighter in the world.
There's been discussions that today people from Israel have been offering you money to come and fight there. You've been reluctant to go abroad. Do you think that as a world champion, as someone who says, I'm the best man on the planet, that you will start to fight abroad?
Well, eventually we'll do that, you know what I mean? But like you said, I'm not in a hurry to leave my country. You know what I mean? I love my country. I'm not in a hurry to leave anywhere. But you know what I mean? If things are right, I'll fight anyone in any place. In their backyard.
How would you describe right now, you've got a lot of things past you, you've always been able to focus on fighting no matter what the other stuff has gone on in your life, are you as content as you can be now with the situation that you have?
I want to fight, and disrupt the world because I'm the best fighter in the world. Thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you. Jim?
All right, Larry. Thank you, Mike Tyson. Thank you, Larry. And here is the man the boxing public waits to see Mike Tyson fight, a man who 6 days ago knocked out a pretender from Brazil named Adilson Rodriguez in 2 rounds, and now waits to see when his turn is coming. Evander Holyfield, first things first. How did Mike look to you tonight?
He was impressive. He hit the guy with the left hook, took him out. He did a job well done.
Would you have thought that he could knock Carl Williams out in 1 minute and 33 seconds?
Well, you know, I felt that, you know, anybody could knock anybody out with a clean shot as well as he delivered. He delivered good shots, got on the button, got him out of there.
In his interview with Larry Merchant, Mike acknowledged that you are not likely to be next on his list. He did not say for sure whether he would fight Jose Ribalta or Buster Douglas or Michael Dokes or any of the other names which are being bandied about, but he seemed to make it pretty clear that he's not going to fight you next. Are you getting impatient?
No, I'm not getting impatient. My time is coming, and I will be ready when my time comes.
When will you fight again?
Well, it's all depending on how long is the wait. If the wait is 6 months or so, then I would take a fight in October.
All right, so Evander Holyfield looks forward to a fight in October. Ray Leonard, your judgment of how long the public is willing to wait, and what does tonight's 90-second knockout do to the expectations regarding Tyson Holyfield?
Well, what happens, it creates more and more of an aura, a persona for Mike Tyson, because what's going to happen now is the intrigue is whether or not Evander Holyfield can deal with a Mike Tyson. As far as he's concerned, he can deal with him.
Is there any other fighter in the division who could pose a real test to Mike other than Evander Holyfield?
I think it's a matter of economics and credibility, and Holyfield has that credibility.
All right, Evander Holyfield, we thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on your victory last week. We look forward to someday seeing you in the ring with the undisputed champ. Right now we go back up to Larry Merchant for more from the ring. Larry?
Okay, I'm with Carl Williams and with his trainer, Carmen Graciano. Carl, starting from the beginning, why were you as aggressive as you were, which preceded the knockout?
Well, I wouldn't call it a knockout. I wasn't knocked out. I mean, he knocked me down. The referee stopped the fight. I don't know why. I think politics is involved in all of that. I think they're just setting up the Holyfield fight. Now, I wasn't even hurt.
Did you understand what the referee's question, when he said,
my hands was up. When the referee said I put my hands up like this there, I was ready to go. He just said, you know, I don't know. You know, I don't know what the hell happened.
All right, you've been knocked down a number of times in your career, and every single time you've gotten up, and in some occasions you've fought better. He said, from your experience, shouldn't you have assured the referee, look, I'm okay, let's go?
Well, I think it was an inexperienced referee. This was his first championship fight. When he seen me down the first time, obviously, he just said, okay, it's over. He said, I think he said something to the effect, are you all right? Are you all right? So I immediately put my hands up, and what happened? He stopped the fight. I don't know what's going on. I know it's political. Because I wasn't hurt. I've been down many a times. I've been down 2 or 3 times in a fight and have gotten up and knocked the opponent out. So I know it was political. I'm not even hurt. You know, I feel bad for not even being able to do anything. I didn't even really, you know, I didn't even get a chance to show my stuff.
Talking about showing your stuff, explain to us why you felt it was necessary to go to Mike Tyson. He says that when he saw you coming to him and fighting him that way, he was elated.
Well, it wasn't that. It wasn't the fact that I was just coming to him. I didn't feel that I should lay back. As you see with Mike, you have to show Mike that you're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Okay, he caught me with a good shot. Okay, fine, no problem. I've been caught with good punches before. That's not the problem. And I've been down before. I've been there before. So why did the referee just prematurely stop the fight like that? I've been in that predicament before and have got up and knocked people out and have won. You know?
Carl, you stated your case eloquently. Thank you. Now back to ringside.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. A very animated, quite disappointed Carl Williams. Lucid, obviously clear-headed. Any further reflections on the judgment to stop the fight based on having seen Carl there, Ray?
Well, again, now he seems to be pretty clear-headed, and he understands.
Younger. He's actually 6 years younger. He's 11.5 pounds lighter than his Buster Douglas, and he's giving away 5 inches in height. And there's a considerable reach advantage, you see there, too, for Buster Douglas. Now let's listen to Jimmy.
Fighting out of Columbus, Ohio. His weight 231 1/2 pounds. 29 wins, 4 defeats, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 19 wins by way of knockout. He's ranked number 3 by the WBC, number 4 contender in the WBA. Please welcome the challenger, James Buster Douglas.
They don't know Buster Douglas too well here, but he's one of the real nice guys in boxing with a great opportunity tonight.
And his opponent, the defending champion on my left, really needing no introduction the world over. He's ready to fight out of the red corner and attired in black trunks. Hailing from Catskill, New York, he weighed in at a ready 220 1/2 pounds. His outstanding record, 37 wins, no defeats, with 33 big wins by way of knockout. He's making his 10th defense of the heavyweight crown, introducing the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the one and only Iron Mike Tyson.
Another day at work for Mike Tyson. He looks almost bored as they fall to the center of the ring by the referee, Octavio Meran.
Remember the wrestling ring instruction. Shake hands and good luck, folks.
Mike didn't have that menacing look that we've seen in so many of his fights before. Anyway, the stage is set. Now, you'll notice something in the crowd here. They don't quite cheer the way they do in the United States and other places around the world. So if you think the crowd isn't into it, we're in the Tokyo Dome. It seats some 60,000 people. There's about 30 to 35,000 here. But it's not that they're not into the fight. It's just that they don't seem to react the same way they do. You know, the baseball players bow at the umpires in baseball when they're called out on strikes. So that kind of gives you an idea. The stage is set. We're set to go. Bob Sheridan here. You see Mike Tyson in the black trunks, traditional, and Buster Douglas. So Buster, it's which Buster Douglas has come to fight tonight. We've seen him fight outstandingly in many of his fights. We're just underway here. 10-point must scoring system. 3 judges will score the fights. Larry Rosadio of the United States, Ken Morita of the U.S., and Mr. Uchiha from Japan here. Mike will try to get in and land that big right hand anytime he can. Buster, who's got a pretty good left hand. You see that jab? He's trying to hold Mike off. If he's able to hold Mike off, this thing could go a few rounds. If he can't hold Mike off, Mike will dispose of him early. That right hand that throw. That's a surprise. And one thing noticeable right away here is that Buster is not backing up, and when he gets in tight, he's not just hanging on to Mike. He's here to fight. Johnny Johnson, his trainer, and J.D. McCauley actually believe that Buster Douglas can win this fight, but golly, how many trainers have we listened to over the years that, you know, I think sometimes you get too close to a fighter and you believe things that you're hoping for. But honestly speaking, Buster looks pretty good in the early going here of this, the first round of a scheduled 12-round World Heavyweight Championship fight. And now the warning comes about the head's coming in. You saw Mike's head come right in the cheek there of Buster Douglas. You see the way Mike dips down. And by the way, this is one of the taller fighters as we reach the halfway point, and it's the first round. And you see right away Buster not so intimidated by Mike. A couple of unusual things here. You know, against the guys he won the title from, like Trevor Berbick and Bone Crusher Smith, with the exception of Tony Tucker, who Mike won the IBF title from, everybody else has been really intimidated by Mike. And Buster is not showing a lot of that, you know, real intimidation we've seen by other fighters fighting Mike. Big thing is whether he can sustain this. Of course, Mike hasn't tagged him yet with a big blow. Look at them as they exchange here in round 1. Oh, that right hand actually caught Mike. Mike may have taken it on the glove there, but Buster is here to fight. This is a surprise, I think, right away. You see, again, the key, and keep watching for this, whether Buster can hold him off with the left hand, and what nobody else has been able to do, can he actually ever back Mike off? As that big lunging left hook, Buster able to get noticed the right hand up to protect the right ear. I think the height and reach advantage certainly looking Buster Douglas here in the early going. Buster in at 231 and a half, 11 and a half pounds heavier than is Mike Tyson. Coming up to the closing seconds, and this is the first one. Wow! With the right hand is Buster Douglas, and Mike comes right back and hits it with a wild left hand of his own. There's the bell, ending round one. I gotta tell you folks, this is exciting now. Now you ask yourself a question here as we start round number 2. The Tokyo Dome, of course, Mike Tyson in his traditional black trunks, James Buster Douglas in white, already has gone further than some of the opponents of Mike Tyson, namely the last opponent, Carl the Truth Williams, last July, was felled in the first round.
Hey, don't do that.
And there was a lot of people that didn't expect Buster, quite honestly, to get through the first round, and that's why Don King has brought the show on the road. Look at Buster landing some shots here. He has him back Mike up. Mike standing straight in front of him. Look at this, Buster landing some shots. This is surprising here. Getting the jab through, stopping Mike. Mike comes through, leans to the right, and then throws that left hook. You still just get the idea that when is Mike going to explode? You've seen it so many times before. I still have to say to this point, Buster hanging in there pretty good. Now he ties him up, and referee Moran has to separate the two. Mike comes through and misses the jab. You know, a lot of psychology involved with this fight. Before the fight, you heard about Buster Douglas' mom passed away a short time ago, and he's dedicated this fight to his mother, and he had a bit of a cold this week, but that didn't seem to bother him. This is the biggest night of his life. Midway through the second round, a place that many of us thought we might not see. Hey, there's a grazing right hand gets through. The left hand again by Douglas. Surprisingly, here in the second round, this is Douglas's round in the second. The first round probably would be scored more even by the judges because they wouldn't pick up immediately what Buster Douglas was doing. And we, of course, have the advantage of the fellas in the truck that have the punch stat information actually telling us that Mike Tyson only landed a few punches in the first round, but definitely Buster is winning the second round, which is very surprising. Of course, Mike at any time lands that big shot. That's the exciting thing about the heavyweight division, because one punch can end it all, but certainly change the tide of the fight immediately. Right now, it's a better fight than we had dreamed of here in Tokyo. But you still, as I said before, get the feeling, well, as Larry Rezadio says, hey, watch that head, Mike, when you come in. I said Larry Rezadio, he's the judge. We're actually talking about Octavio Moran. Oh, an uppercut got through that time by Buster. Look at this, Buster landing some shots here. Well, one thing for sure, he's come to fight. This is as good as we've ever seen Buster Douglas, even in the fight against Tony Tucker, which was a real tough fight. Buster looked very good in the early going in that IBF championship fight, and then the bell ends in round number 2. Buster kind of went by the wayside, and as his size, maybe it's the strategy of Aaron Snowell and Mike Tyson to just kind of, make a fight of it through the early going and then catch up with him in the later rounds with a big shot. If that's the strategy, then it's working, because certainly Buster Douglas is using a lot of energy to this point. Let's see how it goes here in round 3. Mike looks like he's got the adrenaline flow going a bit better here. Mike, of course, has had some personal problems, and you wonder, everything has come kind of easy for him. Is he bored? He had all the highly publicized problems with his marriage with Robin Gibbons, and of course the death of Custom on a good left hook to the body that time.
Don't do that, Mike. Okay. All right.
They tell me again, interesting information, that Buster Douglas has landed over 50 punches and Tyson's landed only 16. Now, the problem is the judges don't see those statistics that we're telling you. So I would say that the judges probably scored the first round even and the second round in favor of Buster Douglas. You see Mike much more aggressive, but again, Buster's not being backed off by Mike Tyson, which is something we just haven't seen in other fights. Referee Moran tries to separate the two big fellas, and the action continues. It's clear that Buster Douglas is not intimidated by Mike Tyson. Mike not using a lot of movement. You notice we haven't seen him do the dip. He's kept that head kind of in the face of Buster Douglas. But we're only in round 3, don't forget. And Buster has that history of kind of wearing down as fights progress. Midway point now, and this is the 3rd round. Octavio Moran, the 3rd man in the ring. His name is actually Octavio Moran Sanchez. He goes by the last name Moran. Unbelievable, the performance to this point anyway of Buster Douglas. Douglas, of course, in the white. You see him feint right, and then he doesn't throw the right hand. Mike tying him up inside. Buster doing something successful. When he gets Mike inside, he grabs on and holds. You see right there? And that prevents Mike from doing what we've seen in other fights, dipping down and then coming with that big uppercut. Haven't seen an uppercut yet by Mike Tyson. That one he kind of shoots from the hip and misses the left hand. And notice Buster doing a pretty good job getting his right hand up by the ear, so he's not susceptible by getting really creamed by that left hook from Mike Tyson. Oh, there's the left hook that got through. That's the first real telling blow by Mike Tyson. And now let's see if Buster can hang on and keep him off. Instead, here's Buster coming back. Mike paws and lunges. Mike has been very successful against some tall guys. Bone Crusher Smith, the big tall guy. Mitch Blood Green, a big tall guy. And both of those opponents just sort of hung on to Mike. But Buster is hanging on when he gets inside, but trying to keep him off with the left and then throwing the right hand. 30 seconds now as the bell ends, round number 3. This is round 4. Bob Sheridan here. We're in Tokyo, Japan. And a beautiful arena here where the Yomiuri Giants play baseball most of the time, and the Japanese crowd of some 35,000 on hand here enjoying what they certainly didn't expect. And that's it. We're in the early moments here of the 4th round in Tokyo. Buster has been successful getting his left jab through and holding Mike off. He really hasn't backed Mike off yet. That will be an indication if maybe Buster's for real. And Mike just saw land that big left hook, and then he goes headhunting with the right hand. And that's what Aaron Snowell told him in between the 3rd and 4th round. And again, their philosophy may be to try to wear this big guy down, but at this stage, into the 4th round, Buster not showing any signs of slowing down. He looks a bit lethargic here in the 4th. He's not up on his toes, not shooting out that left as much. Well, there he goes. As I said, he throws the left and the right behind him. Notice another thing about Buster, some pretty good hand speed. And for some reason, Mike doesn't seem to be into it, but he's a guy that, as we've seen so many times in other fights that have gone any distance at all, like against Jose Rebalta that went 10 rounds, and I suppose you could talk about that 7th round fight with Tyrell Biggs, that Mike, when he decides to pick up the pace, can do it. That's the midway portion of the 4th round. And Octavio Moran separates them for about the 20th time so far here. Of course, the people on hand here are thrilled that Buster is still around here in the 4th round. And the big question is going to be, can he back Mike off? Can he keep that left going? Oh, see, there's a right hand that gets through. I'm talking about the big questions, and all of a sudden the big fella executes it. See him bounce the head back again at Mike Tyson? And he's been very successful with the ability to tie Mike's hands up. For some reason, Mike just doesn't look as aggressive and menacing as I've seen him in so many other fights. But all that can change with one big shot. And don't ever forget that. Wow, that's the great thing about the heavyweights. It's always sudden death. There's the ability of Buster Douglas again. You have to say, in all the fights and all the world telecasts we've done that have involved Buster Douglas, this is the best I've ever seen him look. And of course, styles make fights, and you see, oh, there's Mike missing that big left hand. Just grazed the chin of Buster Douglas, and Douglas answers with loaded up shots from his own with the bell end. Round 4. Hey, we've got a good fight on our hands there from Tokyo. Wow. But he'll have his hands full with Tyson like everyone else has had. I say that like I just expect Tyson to knock Buster Douglas up. But this fight has got to end first.
Behind every
A lot of confidence in the corner of Buster Douglas. Buster filled with confidence as we go to round number 5. You know, on my scorecard, I actually have Douglas winning 2, 3, and 4. And look at this, the first 2 big shots and 3 and 4 shots landed, and this is the 5th round, landed by James Buster Douglas. Not intimidated at all. Now you see what I mean about backing him off? This is the first guy I've seen that's been able to do this. As I say that, Mike comes right forward. The trouble with trying to analyze what Buster's doing now is I just have the feeling that Mike wants to drag this into some later rounds. But there was a real good right hand that landed off the hand of James Buster Douglas.
No, 2 punches. 2 punches. Okay.
A little bit of swelling and puffiness by that left eye. See the jab followed by the right hand. Mike with puffiness by that left eye here in the 4th round. Now Buster's back up on his toes like he was in the real early going.
No.
You know, as the rounds go by, this guy is gaining more confidence.
Okay.
So Mike doesn't want to drag this thing any further than he really has to now. Mike never used to be in hit as much as he's been hitting this fight. Oh, big right hand landed that time. Buster's, if 2, 3, or 4 is a question mark, he's winning the 5th round handily. You don't need to be a professional boxing judge at the midway point here, and even inside there he lands an uppercut. Mike lunging with the left hand. And Buster seems quick enough on his feet, so as Mike lunges with that left hook, he's able to slide back. A lot of that has to do with the height and reach to the edge. But he's chosen to stand and fight with Mike, where Bone Crusher, Smith, when he fought him, and Mitch Blood Green, every time they get any place near Mike, they just tied him up and it made for a lackluster fight. Buster Douglas, for however long this goes, has come to fight. Buster's making a statement that at least he's not afraid of Mike Tyson. And that's something that we can't say for too many of the opponents that have fought Mike, no matter who they may be to this stage in Mike's young career. Is Mike having an off night? You don't know. I mean, because again, the guy that lives by the big punishing punches, I've never seen him in any of his fights behind in the fights before. And again, I use Bone Crusher Smith and I use Blood Green because they're the tallest guys that I can recall him fighting. You see that punishing body shot with the right hand to the side of Buster Douglas's body? Punishing coming up to the closing seconds of the 5th, and this is certainly Buster Douglas's fight.
Got a jab, right hand around here, left hook up here, and that's right here. Right hand punching.
Mike's just not moving laterally at all. He's standing and making himself a nice target for Buster Douglas. This is round 6, scheduled for 12, and a big surprise to this point in the fight here in Tokyo. I've got Buster winning 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's unofficial, of course. The judges, Rosadio, Morita, and Uchea of Japan will do the official scoring. But a blind man can see certainly that Douglas is in command at this stage. And at one stage I questioned whether that could be the fight plan to drag it into the later rounds. but Buster not showing any signs of wearing down, at least to this point. We're in the 6th round. Mike Tyson with a long history of early knockdowns all through 1985 and into 1986 when he was fighting a lot. Very few fights get to the 2nd round, almost all first-round knockouts. And then you get into the area of 86 where he actually had to go 10 rounds against Quick Tillis. It was his longest appearance at that stage. It hasn't been a lot of rounds since then.
Step back. Oh, step back. No punches, step back. All right.
And it's, you know, a real strange thing in my mind. I'm saying to myself, hey, is Mike mentally prepared to go the distance in this fight? And if so, we better start winning some rounds. Mike looking a bit lethargic to me for the first time that I've seen him in his career. Oh, nice jab by Tyson that time. See, again, I don't want to give you the false impression that Mike couldn't end this at any time because he still has thunder in both hands. And you get the idea now that the adrenaline's pumping here in the 6th round. Mike has got to realize that he's behind in this fight. You know, he's a guy that things have come very easy for him so far. Now he's got a man who's standing up to him. And this is when they separate the great champions from the guys who are around for a while, is how they face adversity. And Mike has got to rebound from this because certainly Buster's having a good time of it to this point. Whatever the case may be in the eventual outcome, this is turning into a terrific fight. And it's going to be a memorable one. Look at Buster with the movement. Mike continues to stay flat-footed, not showing a lot of boxing skills. We haven't seen any uppercuts from Mike. We haven't seen him dip down. And looking again, almost lethargic, looking to land the big blow, which he's thrown about 3 or 4 times in this fight. A couple have landed, but Buster's been able to gobble them up. See, that one just off. And in the closing seconds now, this is the 6th round. And every time Mike does that hot swelling of the left eye of Mike, that can become a problem. All right, here we go in the 7th round. Bobby Sheridan here in Tokyo, Japan. This is for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Mike Tyson in the black trunks having a very tough time of it against James Buster Douglas. You know, coming into the fight, emotionally speaking, Buster probably has everything going for him. A lot of talk about the death of his mother and the dedication, that this is his night and all of that sort of stuff. But, of course, one big shot from Mike Tyson can end all that speculation. And Mike looks like he's really trying to land a big shot here in the 7th round.
Fight in there, Mike, again. Break. All right, break.
The way the fight's going to this point, you at least have to begin thinking the possibility of an upset, because I have Buster considerably out in front of my scorecard. In fact, at this stage in the fight, I don't have Mike Tyson winning 1 round. I scored the last round even. I was stretching to score it even for that round, and I scored the first round even, but I scored 2, 3, 4, and 5, all in favor of Buster Douglas. Buster, one of the real nice guys in the boxing game, having the best night of his life. Mike, if he's not having an off night, he's not having a great night. He's not able to execute a lot of things. His hands aren't real busy. He's throwing a lot of wide punches, and every time, just like that time, you see that big shot, real nice, being landed by James Buster Douglas. Fabio Moran. Again, you see the jab, holding Mike off. And more often than not, he's landed. Oh, look at this shot inside by Mike that time. Doesn't seem to hurt Buster. He's in great shape, no question. But look at him pushing Mike off. Now, that's something you haven't seen. Buster has got the confidence of perhaps, you know, you go back to when Leon Spinks fought Muhammad Ali, when he gets to this stage in the fight, he had to just say, you know, hey, maybe I can beat this guy, Muhammad Ali, is Spinks thinking. And now you definitely get the idea that Douglas is saying, hey, I can beat Tyson. He's not so tough. And when a fighter believes in himself and he's ahead on the scorecards, if he doesn't run out of gas, how dangerous can he be? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. This is the second uppercut we've seen by Mike Tyson inside. Buster trying to get off with a kind of half right-handed uppercut that time. Both guys, and Buster showing a little bit more fatigue here. I think Mike probably having his best round of the fight to this point. Nice shot inside. And now you get the idea that at some stage here, Mike can land a big shot and end this fight. As the bell ending round 7. The 8th round. And let's see if Mike can sustain what he started in the 7th, or Buster is going to get right back on top of his game. We're in Tokyo, Japan. I'm Bob Sheridan. You're watching the heavyweight championship of the world. Mike Tyson throwing a little bit more leather here now in the early going of the 8th round. Buster tying him up. Expected to see some fatigue from Buster. But no matter what the story is, you never expect him to be in the 8th round of this heavyweight championship fight. Buster looking a little bit sloppy now. In the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, Buster able to back Mike off with that jab and then land the right hand behind it. Let's see if we can get back to that. Oh, instead Mike lands a pretty good right hand of his own inside. And there's going to be a sense of urgency for Mike. I think his corner has told him enough that, you've given away a few rounds. They don't have the advantages that we have with the replays and the punch stats that's relayed to me, but by the same token, they've got 2 eyes and they can see that to this point in the fight, Buster Douglas is ahead. But in this 8th round, Buster's not the same guy he was in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and even into the 6th round. Mike trying to sustain what he did in the 7th here. We find out in the truck again that Mike only averaged about 25, 26 punches through the first 6 to 7 rounds, and he's already throwing more punches than that, I think, in the 8th round. He's busier. And again, for about the 6th time, Octavio Moran warns the 2 fighters about the heads coming together. Neither fighter been down, neither fighter visibly shaken. Mike has puffiness by the left eye. Buster a little abrasion by his left eye. Wow, with the left hand is Buster Douglas. Buster drops that big right hand, but Mike takes it on the glove, and he backs off Mike again with the left. Wow, with the right hand is Buster. Buster trying to really work the left eye of Mike Tyson. It's right there, right on top of it, just as I say it. Wow, with the right hand, that time is Buster. Buster trying to finish this thing, and you get an idea Mike is trying to finish it as well. This has turned out to be a pretty good fight. And the fact of the matter is, it's Buster that's making it the fight. Look at these shots landed by Buster Douglas. And if Buster was out of gas in the early going of this round, he's got it back together in the late portion here. Raising left hand, chopping right, misses. Uppercut landed by Mike Tyson. That's one of the few uppercuts he's landed in the fight. We've been looking for that all night. Oh, that's a nice uppercut that time. That drops Buster Douglas. It counts up to 2 and 3 and 4. His eyes from where I'm sitting look fairly clear. It's up to 7 and 8. And here it is at 9. Is he going to get up? Yes, he does. All right. And the bell ends the 8th round. What a round for Mike Tyson. Wow. What a turn of events. Well, here we go with round number 9. Now let's see if Mike can sustain it. And he's got the adrenaline flow going. He wants to end this thing now. The 9th round of a fight we never expected to be this far. So no matter what happens, we give a lot of credit to Buster Douglas for making this a big, big fight. Tyson trying to end it with one big shot again. He's down, he comes with the uppercut. Somehow or other, Buster's throwing shots back. Look at this. Buster is not ready to pack it in. His mind is willing. Are his legs still there? Mike misses with that vicious left uppercut this time. We're in the 9th round, a place nobody expected us to be in. Look at these shots just loading up by Mike Tyson now. Mike wants to end this. He's had enough of Buster Douglas for one night in Tokyo. Buster seems to have the bounce back in his legs. In fact, he looks better right now. And this is the 9th round than he did in 7 and 8 in his history. When he's got fatigue, has been to buckle, but he's not buckling now.
No.
He's doing the right things. He's still sloppy, mind you, in some ways. You know, Buster's mother, who died a couple of weeks ago, might be watching him and giving him just that extra inspiration that he needs. Whatever it is, he's fighting back like I haven't seen Buster do. Certainly in the Tony Tucker fight, when he got in trouble, he kind of, well, he folded up. There's no question about it. But Buster has something special going tonight. We're past the midway point in round 9, and I expect it might look at Buster coming back. Did he buckle the lights of Mike? I don't know. He got him again. Buster fights back strongly, landing some big shots. And now he can't get Tillins. Look at this. Who would ever have expected this? And around and up Buster would back it in. He comes back, showing the heart, the tremendous heart that we've seen sometimes in Lucky and others. Tonight, Buster's got the heart back. Wow! Mike now is the one that's hanging on the ropes. Without the ropes, Mike may have gone down as well. I haven't seen Mike in this kind of trouble before. Look at Mike actually grasping to hang on. Mike missing the shots. Buster loading up the shots now. A seesaw battle it's turned out to be from 6, 7 into the 8th and now the 9th round. Buster down, as you know, in the last round. Come off the canvas. This has been something he's not been able to do. Closing seconds of the 9th round. And this is a big surprise. All right, there's the bell ending the 9th round. The significance of what we just saw is Buster's history has been when adversity comes, he's had trouble coming back. Mike's history is when he gets a guy in trouble, he's a great finisher. The 8th round when Buster was in a lot of trouble when he got knocked down. But in the 9th round, Buster actually came back. Look at these, and these replays. You see Mike get one big shot in there, but Buster landed to a 3. And look at this. Buster catches behind the head, another flush left hook, trying to get those arms free. Bangs the body back upstairs to the head. Buster doing just about everything right, but Mike landed that big shot in between, but it didn't take a toll on Buster.
Round 10.
Buster Douglas absolutely having the night of his life to this point. Oh, Mike tries to land the big right hand to open the 10th round. Mike wants to finish this thing in the worst way. And according to my scorecard, he almost needs to. Let's see if Buster can sustain through the 10th round. Oh, right hand landed as the referee was breaking them. Mike misses the uppercut. Mike's left eye is really closing up now. As they take a look at it, get a good shot. Well, you can't see it, but I can. And his eye is really absolutely closed on the left side. That jab of Buster was good in the early going, but the big surprise to me is the way Buster came back in the 9th round. Look at this. Buster not intimidated. He wants to keep it going. Mike actually, his legs, notice his legs in these wide shots. He doesn't have good bounce in his knees. Buster's legs actually look fresher to me. See Mike the way he went back in his heels, doesn't have the good balance. His legs together as Buster's landing these nice uppercuts by Buster Douglas. Look at this! He's knocked Mike Tyson down for the first time in his career. Mike Tyson hits the canvas. He's in big trouble. He may not be able to recover. It's up to 7 and 8. He's not gonna make it. Unbelievable! 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 Buster Douglas is the new heavyweight champion of the world. This has got to be, if not the, one of the biggest upsets in the history of boxing. Buster Douglas, the new undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. refused. Oh, what a surprise, folks. I've called a lot of great fights over the years, but this upset, if you take a look at that left eye of Mike, certainly one of the biggest. Aaron Snowell just had told Mike that he was counted out. Mike kind of obviously unaware of what happened. And look at Buster. John Horn there. Rory Holloway. A lot of concern in that corner. What a scene here in Tokyo. Who would have believed this? Boy, I'll tell you one thing, when the heavyweight championship is on the line, this is why, folks, you can't afford to miss it, no matter who the opponent is. This is unbelievable. 2 jabs. Third jab, a glancing blow. Mike's legs weren't there at this stage, in my opinion. Still coming forward, and there is just a great uppercut. And it's that uppercut that had Mike back reeling, and then followed up by a real strong left hand. And as it worked out, that's all she wrote, as Mike is now about to be counted out. Wow. Boy. You talk about Mike being out of breath and out of gas in some of the big upsets. This is unbelievable. I'm out of breath and out of gas. This is a draining fight to go home to watch. But what a great sporting event to be at. I mean, you're talking about Clay Liston, Spinks and Ali, some of the great upsets of all time. This is going to the record book. Folks, what you've seen is now, I mean, now that I can think about it, is really a very, very historical fight. One more look at it. There's the big uppercut that changes the course of boxing history, followed by the big left hand right. Bang, right there. Oh, look at this. And Buster's still throwing punches. Another big left hand, throwing the punches as he goes down. And Mike, for all practical purposes, the mouthpiece flies, is out right here. What a night for Buster Douglas. Now there'll be all kinds of questions about Mike Tyson and his mental preparation for this fight and the change of trainers and the future for Mike. And wow, what is this going to do to the heavyweight picture? It'll be all a jumble now for this man, the new heavyweight champion of the world. We'll have the official announcement from Jimmy Lennon Jr. and listen to it, because this will be a very historical announcement.
23 seconds in round number 10. The winner by way of knockout, the new heavyweight champion of the world, James Buster Douglas.
無敗の王者が初めての敗北を喫してから4ヶ月が経ちました。王座を明け渡したマイク・タイソンが再び世界制覇へ向けて緊迫の第一歩を踏み出します。紀元前1世紀に広大な領土を誇ったローマ帝国、その礎を築き上げたジュリアス・シーザーの館が現代に蘇ったかのようなラスベガスシーザースパレスの屋外特設リングです。観客席に設けられたシートは15,374席。チケットは昨日までに全て売り切れております。さて、リングサイドには人間タイソンが大好きな長嶋茂雄さん、ゲストとしてお迎えしております。そして解説は元世界ジュニアウェルター級チャンピオンの浜田剛さんです。よろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いします。
長嶋さん、はい、タイソンがですね敗れてから4ヶ月が経ちましたけれどもね、今日の試合はどういうふうにして蘇ってくるんでしょうかね。
そうね、もちろん再起をかけてのいわば勝負ということなんでしょうけどもね、負けることのないしびじったものが負けたということで、どういうそのファイトをするかという、それ非常にもう興味持ちますね。はいはい。
浜田剛さんはご自身でですね、左の拳の骨折によって2年間のブランクがあって、そこから見事に蘇って世界チャンピオンになられました。そういった経験を踏まえて今日のタイソン復活にかけるその心の中をどういうふうに読みますか。
心の中っていうまだ4ヶ月が経ってないわけですから、あれだけ厳しい試合した後でもっともっと開けた方がいいんじゃないかと思いますけどね。ですから心の中であれぐらいの試合は何でもないんだとアピールするつもりで急いだんじゃないかと思うんですけどね。もっ ともっと時間をかけてもっともっと迫力を出してそれで試合するともっと良かったと思うんですけどね。
果たして試合はどういった展開を見せるんでしょうか。マイク・タイソンの復活なるか。ラスベガスシーザースパレスの屋外特設リングから衛星中継でお伝えします。ラスベガスの空の青さが幻想的なブルーに映えるシーザースパレスに溶け込んでいきます。夏の日も落ちまして砂漠を渡る風が爽やかに感じられます。日本をはじめ海外28の国と地域へ衛星中継されるマイク・タイソンの再起第一戦、まもなくゴングです。さあゲストの長嶋茂雄さん、昨日の計量の後、タイソンと久しぶりに会って、肩を抱き合っていらっしゃいましたけれどもね。
そうでしたね。僕の顔を見ながら抱き合ってやっぱり懐かしさとなんていうんですかね、この今日にかけるこの再起第一戦の何かこう自信みたいなそういう感じが伺われたんですかね。
自信にあふれた表情と受け止められた、そうですか、そうしますとね、初めての2月の敗戦から、タイソンが立ち直っていると見ていいですか。
でしょうね。もちろん初めての KO ということでそれなりの屈辱とショックはあったにせよね、その後遺症みたいなものがこのゲームでねどういう形で現れるかという、そういう一つのね技的なものは後ほど浜田さんにお伺いしたいんですが、そういうファイトがねどういう形で出るかどうかね、それも一つの興味だと思うんですけどね。
さて解説の浜田剛さん、もしこの試合でね、タイソンが我々ファンが首をかしげるような試合をしたとなるとですね、何かもう伝説的な英雄が朽ち果ててしまうということになりかねませんでしょう。
そうですね。今日の試合というのは今後の試合、今後のタイソンを占う意味でも、判断できると思うんですね。ですから今日の試合でどういったスピードを見せるかというのが大事だと思うんですね。
昨日の計量ではタイソンが217ポンド 98.4 キロ、一方のギルマンの方は215ポンド、ちょっとタイソンよりも軽いんですが、これは一つ階級の軽い方のクルーザー級から上がってきたということで、ギルマンのウェイトはここまでよく上がってきたと言った方がいいかもしれません。さてティルマンが今このラスベガスシーザースパレスの特設リングの花道に入ってまいりました。先頭を行きますのはジュリアス・シーザーの時代、古代ローマ帝国のその衣装を身にまとった2人の男性です。その後ろに黒いガウンを身にまといました。ロサンゼルスオリンピックの金メダリストヘンリー・ティルマンが今入ってまいりました。前を歩きますのがチーフセコンドのヘンリー・グルームズです。87年の2月に当時 WBA クルーザー級チャンピオンのイベンダー・ホリフィールドにタイトルマッチで敗れてクルーザー級での世界制覇の夢は叶いませんでした。そしてその後減量に苦しんだ末ヘビー級に転向したのが2年前の8月、今回はプロに入って25戦目のリングとなります。アマチュア時代にはタイソンに2度判定で勝っているヘンリー・ティルマンです。今回はプロに入って25戦目のリングです。アマチュア時代にはタイソンに2度判定で勝っているヘンリー・ティルマン。4ヶ月ぶりにリングに戻ってきたマイク・タイソンは言います。あの試合のビデオなんか一度も見ない。もちろん2月11日東京ドーム統一世界ヘビー級タイトルマッチ、彼にとって7度目の防衛戦のことです。さらにタイソンは言います。あの試合は肉体的には問題がなく、ただ精神面で十分な準備ができていなかった。甘く見ていたのかもしれないが、タイトルを失って初めて大きなしくじりに気がついたタイソンは敗戦から1ヶ月後、自宅のあるニューヨーク州キャッツキルで練習を再開。5月初めにはラスベガスに入ってジムワークに励んできました。その間5月2日には長男が誕生。子供好きのタイソンにとってこれは非常に大きな喜びでした。名前は彼のボクシングの恩師故ハス・ダマトにあやかってダマト・タイソン。今夜の試合が終わったらそのダマトと遊ぶのが楽しみなんだと記者会見で目を細めていたマイク・タイソンです。そしてこのマイク・タイソンのセコンド陣のメンバーが増えました。新たにリッチー・ジャケスキーというチーフトレーナーが加わっております。かつて元世界ヘビー級チャンピオンラリー・ホームズのトレーナーを務めた人です。おととい昨日と試合を前にしての表情は東京の時よりもはるかにくつろいでいたマイク・タイソン。日本のファンにはナックアウト勝ちを約束しております。37勝33KO、唯一の負けがあの2月11日の KO負けです。あと14日いたしますと24歳になるマイク・タイソン。今日のウエイトは217ポンド 98.4 キロです。自分は依然最強の男だと自信を語っております。マイク・タイソンがリングに上がりました。さあ今日はタオルを首からかけておりますが、長嶋さん、タイソンが今リングに上がったこの表情どうですか？
良さそうですね。はい。
緊張感にあふれている。
何かこうクッというものを狙う、なんていうんですかね、その前のようなね、もう何かこうすましいようなそういう雰囲気があるんじゃないでしょうか。この雰囲気は東京ドームであまりちょっと見られなかったような感じするんですよね。
はい、まもなく両選手の紹介が行われます。今日の試合はタイソンとヘンリー・ティルマン、顔合わせとしては3度目になります。84年のロサンゼルスオリンピックアメリカ代表選考会で一度ならず2度にわたってタイソンを破って、晴れのオリンピックでも地元の期待に応えて金メダルを獲得したヘンリー・ティルマン。そのアメリカ代表選考会ではタイソンを判定勝ちでした。ご覧のように23歳、ティルマン29歳です。身長で10センチ、リーチで26センチの差があります。浜田剛さん、やはりこのリーチの26センチ差というものをですね、ティルマンは考えてくるでしょうね。
そうでしょうね。ですけどタイソンは常にリーチの長い選手とやってますから、関係ないと思いますね。またそれを関係あるようなボクシングをするとやっぱりタイソンは本調子じゃないなということになると思いますね。
つまりその試合が2月11日だったんですね。
そうです、そうです。
長嶋さん、あの試合ではね、何度もダグラスの左が当たってたんですね。
そうでしたね。あのジャブに対してね、意外と中に入っていけなかったあのスピードの鈍度の悪さっていいますかね、このスピードが復活するかどうかね。
浜田剛さん、タイソンのウエイトの217ポンド、これは前回のダグラス戦よりは 1.6 キロ軽くて、実はね調べてみたんですがね、一昨年の3月の東京ドーム、タップス戦の時よりは 0.4 キロ重いんですよね。
そうですか。それにしてはあの時の方がやっぱり大きくは感じましたね。
タップ戦の時が。はい、わかりました。さてルールを今ご紹介しておりますが、ネバダ州のボクシング最年長そして3ノックダウンシステムです。ジャッジが紹介されております。チャック・ジアンパ、アート・ルーリー、ダルビー・シャーリ、そしてレフェリーはリチャード・スティーブ。タイソンの試合でレフェリーを務めるのは去年2月ブルーノ戦以来です。
Weighing in at 215 pounds, with a professional record of 20 wins, 4 defeats with 14 KOs. He was a gold medalist in the 23rd Olympiad in Los Angeles, California. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Henry Tillman.
身長が192センチ、リーチが2メーター6センチ、ヘンリー・ティルマンです。
From Catskill, New York, weighing 217 pounds. His professional record consists of 37 wins, 1 defeat, with 33 KOs. He is a former, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
再び鉄のアイアンになることができるか、マイク・タイソン、今日が39戦目。分けるレフェリーがリチャード・スティール。リッチー・ジャケッティトレーナーにお尻をポーンと叩かれましたマイク・タイソン。十分にウォーミングアップを済ませております。肩には汗が光っています。一方のヘンリー・ティルマンです。白いフランクスです。グルームズトレーナーから一言何か耳打ちされました。注目の第1ラウンド、タイソン復活なるか。タイソン積極的ですね。
かなり威嚇って言いますかね。
タイソンの左。
体操動きは良くないですね。
動きが良くない。
良くないですね。
つまり追い切れない。
前に出るスピードちょっとないですね。
なるほど。
まあティルマンの方が一生懸命逃げてるっていうのもありますけど、いくら逃げてもやっぱりタイソンのスピードであれば簡単に捕まえられると思うんですね。
はい。
回り込まれてますから
本来のスピード、入り込むスピードはないということ
今日はね、今ないですね。まあ試合の感が戻り次第出てくるかもしれないんですけど、
タイソンにとって復活を見極めるそのスピードという点では、中に入るスピード、それから自分の出すパンチのスピード、さらには相手のパンチをかいくぐるスピード、浜田さん、こういったスピードが考えられますね。
このスピードはやっぱりタイソンの右に出るのはいないでしょうね。ですから今日はこの左打った後でもちょっとバランス崩しますよね。ちょっと良くないですね。
さあどうだ、ライトアウト KO か。
一発はやっぱりありますから、ティルマン一発食えば変わりますよ。
そうしますとやはりティルマンが足を使って距離を取るしかない。
そうですね。つっつけはやっぱりどっからでもタイソンのパンチ出ますから。
ティルマンの左。タイソン接近します。東手が出しません。ティルマンうまいクリンチワークです。じーっとご覧になっていますが、タイソンの動きどうですか。
やはり左はですね、かなり必要以上にジャンプが出てますね。ドームではですね、左がむしろ出るよりもね、逆にダグラスにその制されたところで、イサンティスで会場来たドンキンさんが言ってましたね。
プロモーター
がね、この試合はね、かなり左にジャンプを出すというようなことを強調しておりましたからね、その強調通りかなり左が出てますね。
その左から入って右のフック、ショートフックが決まりました。しかしまだ立っています。ティルマン立っています。足が使えます。
ちょっとまだ浅かったですけど、
復活のダウンです。復活のダウンです。さあ立ち上がれるか。マウスピースを吐き出したリチャード・スティール、関東続行。試合終了。タイソン、黄金の右に当たりました。ヘビー級最強の男が蘇りました。再び栄光への旅立ちであります。
パンチはやっぱりそうですね。いや強い。
石田さんね、ドームのね、最初のファーストラウンド全然違いましたよ。
やっぱりだんだん良くなってきたんですね。
そうですね、右側が出てね、左手出しながらね、右のストレートをね、待ちに待って、それがもうものの秒で決まりましたね。
今日の試合でタイソンの試合の感っていうのをもう全部戻ってほしいですね。
そうですね。
今までのところでは分かりませんが、まだ戻ったかどうか。
次の試合でまたその流れが出てくるかですね。
現在では9月の8日に予定されていますけれどもね、ノンタイトルマッチがね。いや最初のうちはですね、浜田さん、ティルマンがうまく足を使って、これはかわしていくのかなというふうに私は思っていたんですが、
途中からタイソンのパンチ、その前に一発右当たりましたからね、やっぱりあのパンチは浅かったですけど、やっぱりタイソンのパンチは強いんですね。
これです。頭の一番硬いところに当たってますけどね、でも衝撃力がすごいんですね。
一撃ですからね。タイソンの場合でもグラブの外からでも倒す力、パンチ力を持ってる。いや驚きましたね。
角度は変わっておりますが、
普通は急所を狙うんですよ。どこに当たろうが当たれば倒れますね。普通この上にじゃ倒れないんですけどね、やっぱり相当な威力ですね。
そうですか。そうしますと、その217ポンドにね、ウエイトが下がったけれども、パワー、破壊力は衰えていなかったという。
やっぱり全然変わらないです。
恐るべき破壊力を今このラスベガスシーザースパレスのリング上で見せましたマイク・タイソン。アイアン復活です。
For the most part, it's just being waking up every morning, being the heavyweight champion of the world, accomplishing a lifetime dream. It's been very positive. I still have a lot to prove that it was not a fluke going out there and defeating Mike Tyson in the Tokyo Dome. And it just adds to the motivation, to keep me motivated to continue to be the reign as the heavyweight champion of the world.
you see Tyson go down, and now we'll get an opportunity to see Buster go down. Well, Tyson is #1 contender now, and it would be a big payday for me, and even with George Foreman, a big payday. But I think the most important thing is that with the Tyson fight, that's something that a lot of people are looking forward to seeing me and Tyson fight, because his skills and my skills, and it's be more of a George Foreman, Ali type fight, and very action. Even with George Foreman, big payday. But I think the most important thing is that
2人ともね、大変自信にあふれて、これまた迎え撃つチャンピオンとしての誇りみたいなものもね、ダグラスは語っていましたけれどもね。これで選手の方は揃いました。そして今ね、もう一つそのビッグビジネスの世界で、つまり誰がこの試合をプロモートするかということで、また激しい戦争が現在もうすでに始まっていますしね。チャンピオンとしての誇りみたいなものも原田さん語っていましたけれどもね。今日の試合ご覧になってどうでしたか、2人の試合。
そうですね、僕は自分の考えた通りだと思いますね。
というのは
やっぱりタイソンの素晴らしいプレーをしたと思ってます。それはですね、やはり練習の見てからですね、そういう感じを受けましたね。
今日の試合ご覧になってどうでしたか、2人の試合。
芦澤さん、フォアマン、はい。そちらで現場でですね、今日非常にいいファイト2つ見られたわけでしょう。タイソン・テルマン戦だけでなく、その前に行われた、フォアマンのファイト。フォアマンの試合っていうのは実際に僕はリングサイドで見たことがあるんですが、実際に見てみると大きさといいますか圧力っていうのは感じますよね。
もう浜田さんのお話の通りね、圧力を感じて、これはどうやって牙城を崩したらいいのかってちょっとね、分かりませんよね。
そうですね。ですからファーマンに対してどこを打てば効くのかと、どこを打っても効かないような感じがするんですね。ですからやっぱ相手は自然に下がるんですね。まあそれをタイソンでやる場合にファーマンが下がるのかどうかちょっと見たいですね。
タイソンのパンチは長嶋さん通じますかね。
どうでしょうかね。まあしかし今日の一発を見た限りではいけそうな気がするんでしょうけどね。さらにそのスピードを加えて
タイソンが若さに任せて、
長嶋さん、
勝つとならばはい、
東京の方ではですね、タイソンが今日勝ったと、しかも、フォアマンもいい試合をしているような、そうすると次のマッチメイキングとしてですね、タイソン、フォアマン戦というのが当然あるんじゃないかというふうに、考えられてるんですが、長嶋さん、仮に、
その可能性もこちらでもね、話としては出るけども、先ほど芦田さん言ったように、このプロモートの世界もまた別の世界でね、いろいろと水面下で難しいその話がありますしね、そこら辺りがまずクリアしていかないと。ただフォアマンはタイソンとやりたいっていう、もう盛んに言っておりますからね、強調してるから、我々もそれを見たいですね、このセット。
そうですね。芦澤さん、そのあたりも含めて今タイソンの談話が入ってきたんですが、タイソン、フォアマンはもう一度今日と同じようにダブルヘッダーを9月8日にやりたいとタイソン自ら話しました。その後にタイソン、フォアマン戦があってもいいだろうという話です。それから試合に関してタイソンは倒した瞬間にティルマンにですね、悪く思わないでくれという言葉をかけたそうです。それからもう一言、俺は完全にリングに戻ってきたと自信を込めて話していました。一方ティルマンの方はタイソンの最後のパンチは全く見えなかったと話しています。そうでしょうね、浜田さん。あんな上からこうやってくるんですね。
まあ上背のは相当差ありますけど、ああいうパンチ受ければ誰でもやっぱ立っていれないでしょうね。ただそれとまたファーマンが倒れる姿っていうのがちょっと想像つかないですね。
本当にそうなんですよね。山際さんね、ごめんなさい。実はね、先日ジョージ・フォーマンの記者会見がありましてね、フォアマンはこんなこと言ってるんですね。タイソンには世界ヘビー級の頂点に立つだけのリーダーシップがない、大変きつい要求だと思うんですね。でまだまだこの心配で若い者にはこのヘビー級を任せることはできないよというようなね。
そうなんですね。まあそこら辺がそのヘビー級のボクシングの面白いところだと思うんですが、今日はご苦労様でした。
ご苦労様でした。
どうもありがとうございました。しかしフォアマンもあれですね、タイソンを今のうちから今からも挑発して、さあ俺とやってみろ俺とやってみろという、こういうふうに言ってるみたいですけどね。
非常に面白いですね。そのダグラス、そのホリフィードはタイソンですね、やりたいという感じになってるんですけども、またそのジョージ・フォーマンはタイソンをね、 逆に言ってますからね、非常にこの四つどもえは面白くなってきますね。
そうですね、確かに前回その東京でタイソンが敗れた時非常にこうショッキングな出来事だったんですが、しかし考えてみるとそれによって本当に他のヘビー級のボクサーにチャンスが出てきたり、しかもイベンダー・ホリフィールドもね虎視眈々だっていう。
タイソンでもこの負けですね、負けを機にすごく大きくなってきたと思いますね。
そうするとタイソンだけが圧倒的に強かった時代と違って、もう一回り大きくなって、それにつれてそのヘビー級のボクサーたちがさらにみんなグレードアップしていく。そうですね、ダグラスに負けた感じでやっぱり全体的にそうなったんですが、でも僕はまだ一歩伸びてると思いますよ、今日試合見てもね。タイソンが。
More blows and generally dominating the action against Holyfield. Holyfield reversed the tempo in round 6, took advantage of a cut over Stewart's eye, which had resulted from a second round headbutt, and progressively opened the cut to the point where the bout was stopped in round number 8.
And there you hear a roar, which means that here comes Mike Tyson. It's a tribute to Tyson, incidentally, that despite what happened in Tokyo, he has filled this building with about 16,000 people. Aren't many fighters out there who can do that. Certainly no non-champions.
Indeed, Mike will tell you in no uncertain terms that he's still the main man in the heavyweight division where ticket sales are concerned. He suggests that neither Holyfield nor Foreman, and certainly not Razor Ruddock, could ever dream of selling as many tickets or as many pay-per-view subscriptions for a fight as can
Well, he's likely to be proven wrong on that when Holyfield does fight Foreman. But suffice to say, he is still a major attraction. Ringside seats here, incidentally, are just $400, a fraction of what they've been in the past for him. There are some consequences to losing.
Tyson's last fight, 2 minutes and 47 seconds against Henry Tillman, the man who had beaten him twice back in the amateur ranks. In that mob surrounding Mike are all 3 of the trainers now enlisted in Team Tyson. Aaron Snowell, Richie Giacchetti, whom you'll remember from his long tour of duty with Larry Holmes, and Jay Bright. The 3 of them nestled just behind the fighter as they make their way toward the ring.
Looks like a T formation with a flanker, Jim.
That's right. Mike's playing quarterback. Aaron and Richie are the halfbacks, and Jay Bright is dropping back as a fullback into a sort of short punt formation at this point. Now Mike will emerge into the ring where most of the crowd will get its first look at it.
What he's wearing is a torn towel. And there you see the record.
38 wins, the 1 loss to Douglas in Tokyo. This the 40th bout of Tyson's professional career. His knockout percentage with 34 KOs is high, but not the highest in the history of the sport. And there goes Angela.
Tyson looks a little fitter. I like Mike Tyson when he looks small, when he looks like a big middleweight or light heavyweight. So let's take a look at the tail of the tape.
And you can see that the big disparity there is in height. Stewart 4 inches taller than his opponent. He has an 8-inch reach advantage. Tyson at 217 3/4 looks to most observers here to be splendidly trained, in terrific shape.
And the punch stat numbers. There you see what Tyson did against Douglas. But look what Stewart did against Holyfield. 81 punches around, an amazing number of punches for a heavyweight.
Rules for the bout, New Jersey's rules. 3 judges scoring the fight, 10-point must system, standing 8 count in effect, 3 knockdown rule in effect. Neither fighter can be saved by the bell. So right now, let's go up to the ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for the pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, Don King Productions, in association with the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino here on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, present the featured bout of the evening. In attendance here at ringside tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our host, a man who's brought 50 championship bouts to Atlantic City in the last 4 years, Mr. Donald J. Trump. And in the ring at this time, the promoter for tonight's great event, and many others through the years around the world, Mr. Don King. This bout is sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. All the officials shall remain the same except the judges assigned at ringside. For this bout, they are John Stewart, Rocky Castellani, and Eugene Grant. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. The referee for this bout is Frank Cappuccino. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with gold trim. He weighed in at an even 218 pounds. He's originally from England, but now lives and fights out of Brooklyn, New York. His professional record, an unbelievable one, 26 victories, all 26 by knockout, only 1 defeat. He's the number 4 ranked heavyweight in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex, the Destroyer Stewart. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks, weighing 217 3/4 pounds, from Catskill, New York. Also an unbelievable record, 38 victories, 34 by KO, only 1 defeat. He's the number 1 ranked heavyweight in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
You're both given your instructions by the New Jersey Control Board. Protect yourself at all times. Both you touch gloves. Come on, come on. Come on, baby. That's right, baby.
The question, as in all Tyson fights, can the opponent maintain his poise in the face of Tyson's quickness and menace? Or will he retreat into self-defense?
Stay in the corner, Michael.
Stewart has stated categorically that he knows he needs to keep throwing punches to try to keep Tyson occupied. If he stops throwing, he'll be dead. Tyson lands a right and another. This could be quick.
I was afraid of a 30-second soundbite.
All right, man? Okay, let's go.
Remember, Stewart never went down against Evander Holyfield. Shot to the body, another solid right hand. Stewart begins to throw as a means of trying to defend himself. That'll be called a slip. And Mike is a little wild as he goes for the kill.
A good right hand that hurt Stewart again, but Stewart is still upright.
That was a flush right hand.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
He's up just at the count of 9, Jim.
How you feel, man?
Taking a good look at Cappuccino. He's going to let him go. 3 knockdown rule makes it through a minute and 20, it'll be a small miracle.
Let him go, let him go. Come on. Stop punching.
That was a worthwhile grab. Tyson missed with a left that would have done it.
He's very calculating now, Tyson.
Two more right hands land.
All right, Alex, let him out, Alex.
Stewart must land something or else it's just a question of a few seconds.
That'll do it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They're forgetting that the 3 knockdown rule is in effect. This fight is over.
Well, Stewart said that Tyson was a mountain he had to climb. He just got knocked off that mountain. He just didn't have the style, Jim, unlike Douglas, to test the vulnerability of Tyson.
Yeah, he's not nearly the technician that Douglas was when Douglas was good in Tokyo.
Early in the fight, Douglas tied Tyson up. He used his jab. He survived and then and determined the pace of the fight.
Nothing bothering me. You stay right there for a minute. Let me take a look there. You got caught in the early fight. The first fight, first punch. You know how many times you got knocked down? 3 times. 3 times. The first time, right? You remember the first one? Yeah. Okay. Now, do you think you can stand up now? Stand up for me. Put your feet together as you stand up. Put your feet right. No, I'm just holding you to see if you're gonna fall. Put your feet together. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. Okay, let him go.
And here's the first of the 3 knockdowns. You look at Tyson moving in with controlled fury, and the right hand puts Stewart down. Stewart was able to get up at the count of 5. Now we'll take a look. Is this the first knockdown again? Yes, it is. Another angle. The right hand to the top of the head was the one that put Alex down. That knockdown occurred within the first 10 seconds of the round. Now we'll take a look at knockdown number 2. By this time, Stewart still wobbly from the first knockdown, and he went down without Mike having to land a crushing blow. Another look at knockdown number 2. And you can see that the right hand simply glanced off the top of Stewart's head, but it was enough to put down a very wobbly fighter at that point. And now here's a third look at that same knockdown, knockdown number 2. The left to set it up, the glancing right off the top of the head, and Stewart down for the second time in the round. Still more than a minute 40 seconds remained in the round at that point. And with the 3 knockdown rule in effect, it was up to Stewart to try to stay on his feet to make it through round number 1. He was not able to do it. Here's knockdown number 3, which came at 2 minutes 27 seconds of the first round. A right and a left, and that was enough for Alex Stewart. Referee Frank Cappuccino began the count, which was academic at that point because of the 3 knockdown rule. Another look at the third knockdown. Solid left to the side of the head, but by that time it was the accumulation of punishment throughout the round which contributed to Stewart's demise. So Mike Tyson, in his 3 fights in this particular ring, his last 3 fights, I should say, in this particular ring, has a 91-second knockout, a 93-second knockout, and this one, 147 seconds. 3 first-down knockouts in his last 3 appearances here in Atlantic City for Tyson. Punch stat statistics for the 1 round in the fight. Tyson threw 46 and landed 21. Stewart given credit for having landed 4 punches. He stopped punching somewhere early in the 2nd minute of the round and simply tried to survive from that point on with the by now obvious result. So this crowd remains on its feet. Almost everyone still here in the arena. as they await the official announcement. And we wait to see if well, they've gotten the official announcement. I was looking at replays, and I'm told now that the official announcement has already been made by Michael Buffer. And we wait now to see if we'll get a chance to talk with Mike Tyson about this, the 39th victory of his professional career.
Ladies and gentlemen, is he back? Iron Mike Tyson, 2:27 of the first round.
And here comes Mike Tyson to join us now at ringside. Congratulations on victory number 39. You came out with fury, to say the least. Knocked him down in the first 10 seconds of the round. If I can get you to turn toward the camera a little bit, Mike, how important was it to you to score a first-round knockout tonight?
Well, I knew he was a dangerous fighter once he got warmed up. And my objective, I was in great shape. He was to go in there and put the pressure on him for 10 rounds. I knew I had to break him eventually.
You appear to be in sensational condition. Do you feel considerably differently now than was the case 10 months ago in Tokyo?
Absolutely, because my mind is more prepared. That's what basically the whole standpoint came down to, being prepared mentally.
How does your situation compare now to what most people would regard as the peak of your career when you knocked Spinks out here in 91 seconds?
Well, I didn't feel like it was a sensational night tonight, because there's things that I know that I did that was mistakes. So, a good fight, and I'm in good shape. And I just like to thank all my fans on HBO that's been supporting me. But I just like to say this is my last fight on HBO. It's because HBO, they think that you'd rather see Holyfield than me. Thank you for supporting me. I love you all. Bye.
Mike, one final question. How important at this moment is the coming arbitration with regard to the WBC championship and the possible WBC title fight with Ruddock?
Well, it really don't matter as long as I can fight for the title. I love to fight Ruddock. I want to show everybody he's not the baddest man in the world they once said he is.
Would you rather fight the winner of Foreman Holyfield?
Excuse me?
Would you rather fight the winner of Foreman Holyfield?
I would fight anyone. But I'm fighting for the moment. It looks like Ruddock might be in the wings, and I'm looking forward to fighting Ruddock.
Can you elaborate on why you feel you've been treated unfairly by this network, which will state that it has 2 offers on the table for you for long-term deals?
I have no comment. I don't want to talk about them. The company know what they did, and I'd like to say hello to all my troops again that's been supporting me. I'm out of here.
We've enjoyed covering you. Thank you very much. We don't negotiate on the air. Our chief executive, Seth Abraham, will have plenty to say in the future about the potential for another Mike Tyson deal at HBO. It has been our hope for the past year that we could complete one more deal to give a long-term contract to Mike Tyson and to continue to cover his fights here on HBO. But there'll be no negotiation on the air. That will take place between Don King and Seth Abraham. We're grateful that Mike was willing tonight to come and speak to us at ringside in the midst of what is, quite candidly, a frosty period between us and him and his promoter, Don King. So Mike Tyson has the 39th victory of his career, the 19th.
Taking the glove and the tape off of Mike Tyson, who scores a 7th-round TKO over Razor Ruddock. A riot erupting in the ring. Thank goodness cooler heads prevail. Following the stoppage of the fight, this will be questioned by Richard Steve.